Hi, this is Olajide from CTF Security and welcome to day 3 of TryAcme Advent of Cyber 2023. In today's video, we'll be carrying out an attack to crack the PIN code to access and unlock a control system. We'll start by learning how to use CRUNCH to generate custom word list combination to be used in the attack. Then we'll go ahead to use HYDRA in our brute force attack. We will also discuss how password complicity and number of possible combinations affect the feasibility of a brute force attack. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so welcome back to the challenge. As you can see, this is day 3 of the Advent of Cyber 2023. The title of the challenge is brute forcing. The tagline is Hydra is coming to town. And we have our green button here to start our attack. So I'll quickly launch that. So let's scroll down while our machine is coming up to see what we have on this challenge. So if I scroll down, we have the storyline, so we're not going to bother about that because of time. So we're going to move straight into the learning objectives of this task. We are expected to learn about password complicity and the number of possible combinations. We'll also learn how the number of possible combinations affect the feasibility of brute force attacks, generating password combination using CRUNCH, and also we'll be trying out password automatically using HYDRA. Now, the focus of this video is talking about brute force. So for those of us that are just hearing the word brute force for the first time, in cybersecurity, we refer to brute force as any kind of attack which involves the use of trial and error to crack passwords, login credentials, and encryption keys. It is simple but yet very realistic tactic for gaining unauthorized access to individual accounts and organizations and even systems. Sometimes the attacker tries multiple username and password, often using computer to test wide range of combination until they find the correct login information. That is just what the brute force attack is all about. We need to talk about the feasibility of this brute force attack, and there are some criteria which we need to take into consideration. For example, how many different PIN codes in terms of PIN or passwords do we have? We need to take that into consideration. And also we need to also check how many different passwords can we generate in terms of combinations. And lastly, how long will it take to find password by brute force? Now, if we scroll down, we have some information about that. Now, let me just go through the scenario in just a minute. For example, let's say we have an access control system that uses 3 characters. That means we're expected to have a digit number as the passcode in between the 000 to 999, meaning that we have total number of 1000 combination when we're dealing with 3 characters. Now, the way we calculate this is we have digits, which is from 0 to 9, which is 10 digits. Then we're going to take that particular digit and multiply it by the number of characters that we want to use as our password. So if you're dealing with 3, that will be probably 10 raised to power 3, which will be equivalent to 1000. So that is how possible passwords are being generated. Now, when we're counting, just like I've said earlier, when we're counting password, we start from 0 to 9 when we're talking about digits. Uppercase also have 26 letters, A to Z. Lowercase also has the same thing. Now, when we're dealing with password that has to do with alphanumeric, which is alphabet and digits, we're dealing with total number of 62 different choices of characters. So we have 10 from the digit, we have 26 from lowercase, 26 from uppercase, making it 62 total number of digits. Now we have some rough calculation here. So let's say you are trying to brute force an account that is using 4-digit password. Now, if you're trying to use an uppercase, lowercase, and digit combination, you're expected to have total number of 14,776,336 possible password. If you are dealing with 6 characters, you can see the equivalent number of possible password here on the screen. So there's a lot of math into that, so I wouldn't want to waste much time. So we could just go through this document to find out how long it will take to crack a certain number of password when we're measuring it in seconds or per hour. Now let's go into this room in details. So first thing is, we've had our IP address, and our IP address is 10.10.70.160. And if you take a look at the instruction above, I think we have something regarding how we can start the machine. I think it should be somewhere here. Let's see. Okay, good. It says click on the start machine button at the top right of this task, as well as the start attack box. But we're going to be using VPN rather, so we don't need to do that. So it said visit http 10.10.70.160 on port 8000. So we are dealing with port 8000 here. I'm just going to grab the full URL and I'm going to access this in a new tab. Paste, and we're going to load, and we'll give this few seconds to load. Great. So this is going to load the access control system that we have in place here. Now we can try to play around, but before we start doing that, let's go back to the task ahead of us. So if I scroll all the way down, you can see the use of some of the tools we are going to be using in this video, which is the Crunch tool. But for now, we're just going to skip that. You can also see Hydra here, which is for brute forcing, but I'm going to skip that for now. So we are going to head all the way down to our question section. And the question here is just a single one, which is very, very interesting. So it says, using Crunch and HYDRA, find the pin code to access the control system and unlock the door. What is the flag? So we are required to have a flag to submit on this platform here. Now let's go back to our machine here. Now we have an access control system, just like I've said earlier, and it ranges from 0 to 9, which is a digit, and A to F. So this is some kind of an hexadecimal numbering here. So the way we can calculate our possible password combination is to use the total number that we have here, which is 16, raised to power the total number of possible characters for the password. But now we've not known that, so we're just going to test this application out. So let's try 0000. So you can see that the application can only accept 3 characters. So if I try to continue, let's see what we got. So it says access denied. So I'm going to try again. Good. So we know that we have total number of 3 characters now. So if we say 16 raised to power 3, I think I have calculator here. So let's say 16 times 3. I believe we're having 4,000 plus. Okay, no, that's wrong. 16 times 16 times 16, which is raised to power, not times. So let's see what we have. I have a very slow internet connection. Okay, so we have 4,096 combination. So let's go back. Let's just quit this and let's go back to password or word list generating. If I scroll down, let's see. Okay, good. So here we have generating the password list. Now the numeric keypad shows 16 characters, 0 to 9, A to F. We need to prepare a list of all the pins codes that match the criteria. And we have a command we can use. Crunch is a password generator tool which we can use to create custom word lists for our attacks. And here I'm just going to be breaking down what these commands are for. But for now, I'm just going to grab the command. Let's quickly copy that. And I can just fire up my terminal. Let's just pull this on the left hand side. I can just paste the command in here. If you go to the breakdown, here what we have here is the Crunch application. We have the starting character, meaning that we can have minimum of 3 characters in our word list. We can also have maximum of 3 characters. So this command is restricting the possible password generation to just 3 characters. We also have list of characters that are going to be used in order to formulate the word list, which is from 0 to 9, A to F. We also have a name, so we're giving the word list a name, which is 3 digits dot text. You can change this, by the way, if it is preferable by you, but we're just going to leave this way, and we are going to send. Now this is going to generate, you can see it, total number of 4096 words, and we can even view these words. So let's say plumber and use the name is 3 digits dot text. So my plumber should be able to open this. Plumber is a text editor, by the way, so that we can take a look at the word content being generated. So you can see this is the list of what we just generated within seconds. You can see digits. It also has some alphanumeric characters within it, which is interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to close this. Let's close this also. Now we're done with the first step. Let's scroll down. So now we come to using the password list. We've generated a password. Now, brute force attack is all about subjecting the word list we've generated or all the possible password that we've created into a login panel in order to be able to see if we can actually get a possible password from our list. Now, manually trying out pin code is very daunting task. Luckily, we can use some automated tools to try our generated digits combination, and that is where the HYDRA comes in. So we're going to be taking a look at the commands we're going to be using. We'll be needing some information in order to use this HYDRA, and these are the 3 information which we have here. The first information is we need the kind of request or the method being used in the request. Secondly, we need the URL of the request. And lastly, the pin code value is sent with which name. So we need to determine what name the value we are trying to brute force for is carrying. You can get these 3 information from the developer mode while sending the request through the pin code application, or you can rather use Bobsuit to extract this information. In this video, I'm going to be using Bobsuit to do that. So I'm going to fire up my Bobsuit, make sure the intercept is on. Then what I'm going to do is to go to the application and I'm going to send a dummy data. Now, since our intercept is on, let's just send the 000 and then continue. Bobsuit is going to pick this request. Then we can go to the proxy and you can see that the information being sent is sent as a web socket. So we can take a look at the HTTP history to see what is going on in this application. So let's just pick this pin.php. Okay, cool. We have a request here on pin.php. Did we send any data? You can see that no data is being sent here. So let's look for login. Good. So you can see that this is the request that we are looking for. It's carrying a post request with /login.php. And if we scroll down, this is the data being sent, which is pin equals to 000. So we have all the information we need in this request tab right here. So let's go back to our room and let's see how we can proceed from here. Now we have our IP address / the port that we are using to access this, which is the /pin. We've seen this one before. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to the command here, and there's a breakdown for the commands. So we're using HYDRA, and L is used to indicate the username or the login name. But in this case, we only need one parameter or one value, which is the pin. So we don't really require a login name. So we're going to leave the login name as empty. So that is why we just have it as an empty string here. Then we also have the P, which specifies the text file which we've generated earlier, which is the password file, or you can either say the word list file. We also have the F used to stop HYDRA after finding a working password. So whenever it comes across the right password for the application, the HYDRA stop brute forcing. We also have the V, which is meant for verbose to display information as the brute force attack goes on. We also have the IP address, which is the IP address of our machine. You can see it right here. We have the form type, which is HTTP post form. This part of the command, which is segmented into three. The first one has to do with the URL we are submitting the post request to. The second part has to do with the PIN, which is the password. And the last part has to do with error message. How we got this is whenever we enter a wrong value, whatever value that particular application is bringing out, that is what we're going to put here. This varies across application. You see some application write different error messages. So in this our case, you can see that we are dealing with access denied. So if yours is different, you can just change it. And the last one is dealing with the port that we are running from. Remember, our application is running on port 8000. So I'm just going to grab the command. Now that we understand all the commands, I'm going to copy, then I'll move to my terminal. I'm going to paste this in here. Then we're going to start our attack. So let's make this bigger so that we can monitor the progress. Okay, cool. So we have one of one target successfully completed, one valid password found. This is really strange because I have tried the 000 as the dummy data and yet did not log into the application. So what I'm going to do is I'm just assuming maybe it has to do with my VPN. So I'll just try the Triac Me attack box for the task. So let's go in and launch our attack box quickly. Where's the attack box? Okay, so probably that will run fine, but the command is still the same thing anyway. Sometimes this password cracking application can just be funny at times. So I'll just forward the video till when the attack box is ready. While the attack box is running, I can just try this again and try to check my command if there's any issue. Login name is empty. Password is 3-digit.text. 3-digit.text, false, verbose, 10.10.70.160, the post form, login, PIN, access, then everything seems to be okay. So what might be the reason? I guess we're going to find out in a moment. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this in a bigger tab so that we can have a look at the full screen. So while that is coming up, let's just quickly grab our commands. I'm going to scroll down to the crunch command and let's fetch our command again, copy. Okay, cool. We just have to accept this and let's fire up our terminal. Okay, so let's quickly paste that. First of all, I want to check where I'm working from. Okay, I'm working from root. Do I have any directory here? Let's go to desktop. Okay, so we want to run our crunch command here. But first of all, I need to find a way to get this in here. We're going to paste it in here. Then we're going to copy. To paste. Okay, so that has been created, which is this. Let's run the second command. I'm going to scroll down and grab the HYDRA command. I'm going to head to the machine. We're going to paste it inside the clipboard. And we're going to copy. Then we're going to paste. Execute. Oh my God. Let's clear that. There seems to be an error there. So let's go to the clipboard. We want to make sure that we have our machine IP address here. Let's go get it. So I'm going to fetch it from the Chrome tab, and let's go back to our machine. I'm going to replace the machine IP. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste. So let's see what we have. We can make this bigger. So this is going to take a while for it to actually look for the password that we're looking for. So I think I have issue with my Parrot OS, which is the Hydra within that application. Let's just see what we get with the one on the attack box. Hopefully we're going to find our password very soon. Okay, so we found it, and the password is 6F5. So I'm going to grab this quickly, copy, and we can head to our pin. I'm going to close this, and then we can say 6F5, continue, and we are into the application. So what we need to do is to open the door. So we're going to grab our flag. I'm going to copy, and we're going to submit. And submit. Okay, so that was correct. If you're enjoying this room, please check out the password attack room. Completed. Okay guys, that will be all in this video. I hope you've learned one or two things on password brute forcing today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in the next video.